I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to FM24 Youth Factory, episode 33. We're going to be entering cruise mode here in a moment. And one of the issues that comes with cruise mode and just kind of speeding things along is you tend to forget about certain little details like extra training, personality groups to help develop that training. There's a lot of little details that can get lost in translation. As you start speeding things along and taking vacation trips and whatnot. So something I just completed was that process of going through the whole first team. I haven't gotten through other areas, but all the new young players and even a couple of the guys I think from last season might have missed out on this. But going through their training development and adding the additional focus of what to work on, you can see attacking movement for Adekunle has improved since we've focused on it, but it hasn't gotten great yet. So we're going to focus on that a little bit longer to help him out. But you can see, just briefly what a few of the guys are working on. Atkins now working on ball control as he's really weak in that department. You can see Matty Baker, we've started working on final third where he's awful. Kamara working on his crossing. He's been working on that one for a while. But you can see Koulibaly, we just switched him to technique, or actually he had no focus. But his composure, his technique is really bad, so improving that. Two players that were giving us a hard time because we didn't sell them, and they've now both decided they are happy to stay here, and it's still September. Really good news on that front. It can help us get focused, get our head down, and hopefully pick up our performance, because currently, after 7 matches, we have just 12 points. Just 1 loss so far, but 3 draws. Only 3 wins out of 7. It's not a great record at the moment. Next up for us is Grimsby on the road. They're only 1 point behind us, and we're on the road, so we'll go ahead and play that one live. U18s have started the season well. 5 matches played, 10 points for them. It's not a great ratio. 2 points per match is always good, but it's not great. I still find themselves in second place, though, in the U18s league at the moment. Kicking off with this upper mid-table clash. Always adding the challenge of being on the road. Adekunle does well to steal the ball on that initial play of the game. Not necessarily his forte. Julian forced to make a big stop on that one as that was headed for the upper corner on that dangerous free kick, and it very much was dangerous. And that gives Julian a big boost to his rating early on in this one. That was the first shot on target. Just 2 shots all game so far. Is Grimsby Town looking the stronger side so far? Based on highlights, you think it might be. They've had another shot. It was on target. That was probably the one we knocked out for the corner kick. And then Julian intercepting. Pass completion, advantage, tackles 1, headers 1, very much going our way. Headers 1 is hugely going our way. Possession is leaning our way, but we have not been able to put together a single shot attempt in the first half. We're at a stoppage time, and that's it. It's halftime. We had 0 highlights in the first half, despite controlling the game. All 11 fired up for the second half, including 4 of them being very fired up. Let's see if they can put together a better performance. We looked better and stronger all half, yet 0 highlights. Our kickoff is our first highlight. We got a shot attempt. Was it the free kick, or was it an attempted cross that they cleared away and we just eventually got our first shot? Either way, we've got that one finally in the books. Big opportunity here, and wow, that was a dangerous moment. Julian turned that around the post, so Julian did get a piece of that, though it didn't look much like it. But it clearly deflected off someone. It was Julian who did. I saw the highlight there. Yeah, we've been in control for quite a while, but they got one big moment, and suddenly we've played an hour. A point on the road is definitely not a bad performance, but under the circumstances, we'd be hoping for more here. Mortland on a yellow card now. Ooh, looked offside. Flag's raised. Yes, flag is raised. No goal. No goal. Scary moment there. Mortland is tired and feeling fatigue. So, that's the same thing. That's the same thing. And on a yellow. Still only 1 attempt in this half. And Redknapp goes down injured. Ashley Potter is the backup right back. We're going to bring him on. Is this his... Julian picked up a knock, but he's unaffected by that slight injury. Second sub, Potter on Pringle. Does find his man near post, and Julian gets it looked like a kick save on that one, and puts it around for a corner kick. And I think we need to be hanging on for a point here, even though we've only had one attempt all day. We're not looking likely to do anything. Change of tactics could help, but it also could open it up and give them an opportunity. They look to be wasting time as well, so it looks like this could be a boring draw. We've been better and worse both at the same time. We've controlled the match throughout, but haven't actually done anything in the game. We've never threatened. They did. So under the circumstances, I'm okay with the point we got. Hopefully Redknapp is not hurt too bad, and hopefully Julian is okay as well. He's picked up an 8.0 rating. Our ratings definitely went into the defense today, not the offense, but Redknapp didn't do anything. Potter wasn't on long enough to affect anything, but yeah, single attempt, none on the frame. That's worrying. We're having a little bit harder time here in League 2. That keeps us in 7th after 8 matches played, 4 now. We're going to go ahead and speed things up, including a Johnston's Paint Trophy match. We're going to go on vacation for a little bit here and see how the team fares. For that vacation, though, it's a fractured toe for Redknapp. That's 3 to 4 weeks on that one. Takes a little bit to recover. It's hard to put your weight on it after that, having done that myself, playing the same sport. Except for we called it combat soccer, as I was in the military at the time, and it was no fouls. It was the don't kill each other, but somebody stomping on my foot. With the only player out there who had a pair of cleats in their dorm room, them stomping on me, metal cleat going right on through my shoe and breaking my toe. That hurt. It was more than 3 to 4 weeks for me. Following the Grimsby match, which ended the month of September, I just simulated the entire month of October. Vacation for the entirety of it, and it went pretty well. One hiccup, and you'll see that hiccup in a second. Had I not been on vacation for the entire month, we wouldn't have stayed on vacation for that one. But we beat Crawley Town 3-1 on the road. We got the early goal. We got the second goal early on. They pulled one back, and we sealed it late. Papa John's Trophy, the U21 squad for Brighton, and we got them with a late winner in stoppage time from Peter McFadden. That's a rarity. How many goals has he scored all time? I'm guessing not more than 1 or 2 or 3 all time. Hartlepool, a 2-1 victory, including a late return to the top after beating Pharrell Williams stepping to the spot and getting the equalizer, and then us turning around and beating them. I don't know who that is as a soccer player, but I obviously know who Pharrell Williams is in the music industry. Bolton, weird to see Bolton this low, but we beat them 2-0. Then on the road, Northampton, we had the game done. They get a stoppage time equalizer, and then Forest Green get 2 very early goals. We pull one back late, but could not equalize. This was a clash of top teams, and we did not fare well in that clash. But Gillingham, 2-1 victory, including a late winner from Wilkinson, has us looking pretty strong. And here is why that Forest Green one was such a big deal. We are equal on points. They are ahead by a single goal. But it's still very tight at the top. Leyton Orient just 1 point behind us. York just 2 back. Accrington Stanley, FC Halifax, Hartlepool, all up there as well. Even Bradford City, Port Vale on 20. 19 points gets you down to Newport County in 14th. 18 points gets you to Exeter. 17, 16. Like there's no big gaps. Last place in the league has 12 points. Is scoring a point per match. I mean, we're talking about double top to bottom, yes, but very, very tightly compacted standing in League 2 this season. In terms of development, Adekunle looking the best with his 124, wide number of 110s and above, all the way down to Archie Jones. That's quality, because about 100 plus is quality for League 2. But then there's that drop off. Chris Webb right at that 100. Thornhill's at 99 and stalled out there. McFadden's at 98 and just very slowly progressing. Atkins has largely stalled out. He's at a 94. Rossini is coming along. The young player here is the backup to Redknapp, and he has caught him. He's overtaken him. He's starting to pull away just a little bit. It's time to compare Rossini and Redknapp. Rossini, 5 starts, 6 appearances off the bench to Redknapp's 7 starts. Their average rating is almost identical. Redknapp has 1 assist. Their passing ratio is the same. The header, Rossini wins a little bit more, but shot percentage is at 0 right now. But how many has he attempted? I'm not sure. His training rating is definitely better. He's continuing to progress, and I think he's pulling away. And we've played better when he has started. But how does he compare to Redknapp actually? Redknapp is blue. Redknapp has a little bit better vision, but Rossini's better defending, much better aerially, and they are very, very similar players otherwise. They both have that fullback / center back profile, but they both translate much better as fullbacks. With the 24-year-old Redknapp and 270K, he's somebody we can think about selling, and we're going to talk about that subject here in just a moment. Redknapp does have a height advantage and a size advantage overall, but pretty insignificant on that one. I think Rossini needs to be made the starter. It's taken Redknapp years and years of being the starter to slowly reach that mark. I don't think that's going to ever get. Now, Redknapp does have multiple position capability, so do we put him ahead of, like, Kamara? Kamara's as good as he's going to get, so I do think we put Redknapp as the backup and get Kamara out of the mix. Yeah, he's only got a 6.6 anyway. This whole bottom end, none of them have 7.0 ratings. It's just our better players. That really goes to show just how much tougher this league is, and maybe it's not necessarily 110 is competitive. 120 and above should make you good, but Adekunle's not doing it. We have no morale issues whatsoever right now. We've had minor injuries, lots of them this season. Davidson, 5 goals, 4 assists. Lanahan Penry's 4 goals, 5 assists. Nothing standing out. No one is outstanding right now. The bottom end here, these guys are barely playing. Koulibaly's had 3 starts. Really? How has he managed to get 3 starts already? Johnson's Spade Trophy? Maybe? Not sure. Weird to see. Poor ratings for him also in those 3 starts. For the moment, the only player that I'm seeing develop, though, is Rossini. And I think Ashley Potter. Ashley Potter is moving up as well. Rossini is a center back. It's Potter who is the up-and-coming right back. And he's had just the 2 appearances off the bench. We got to fix that. Rossini is the backup center back who can play fullback. I've got this backwards here. We need to put him on the bench, though, instead of Kamara. He's overtaken Kamara. That's the one he's caught up to and overtaken. Training rating is poor at the moment, though. Maybe he had a minor injury. Yeah, he's no sharpness. Is that because he's not playing, though? Probably. It looks like a bug has ruined the FA Cup for this year. The June victory by Arsenal, who knocked us out in the 5th round. Their victory in the FA Cup, that was the last match played. It's late October now. The early rounds of it should have been going on, and there has been absolutely no reset, and it's still showing us as knocked out in 5th round, and with them having a happy performance. So at the Carabao Cup, the League Cup, already us getting eliminated in the 1st round by Fulham, and no FA Cup this season through whatever bug didn't set it up properly. We find ourselves with 1 match to go against Ebbsfleet, who have already qualified for the next round. That's going to be a difficult ask with Colchester and the Brighton under-21s right there. And the expectation is to reach 2nd round. So not looking great on that opportunity. You would expect one of them is going to come out with a victory and the other one's going to lose. So you're going to be looking at either 4 points or 5 points. And we might still be sitting on 3. Or even if we get to 4, the goal differential would favor Brighton. We played 2 more matches prior to this kickoff here against Accrington Stanley. One of them was against a top 7 side on the road. We got a draw. So that was a good point when you're talking about anything near the top of the league. And then at home against a lower ranked team, we won pretty comfortably. So with those 4 points from those 2 played, we remain 2nd in the league with a big ask here against 5th place Accrington Stanley. But at home, it's going to give us a better opportunity to maybe score all 3 points. But in the very early minutes, Atkins has already picked up a yellow card. That's a little worrying, as Davidson also picks up one in the 22nd. 4 yellow cards inside the first 25 minutes. The No, not goalkeeper on that one. Was that not? Apparently that was well timed. They get a corner kick out of it. Julian punched it up and over. Big cross there, but Kitching heads it away, and Jones has some space to work with, but a lot of red shirts everywhere. Hangs onto it a little bit too long and loses out. That cross is good in there. Kitching's cleared. Atkins brings down Lockett in the box. It's a penalty. It looked like it was probably the right call. Hutton converts. We trail 1-0. We've only had 2 shot attempts, so it's not like they're dominating play, but we got work to do. Redknapp, nice through ball, cuts inside, and Austin, big save there. Akunle takes the corner, but Austin grabs that one out of the air. Let's press this guy. Always, we've controlled the flow. And Penreese finds Akunle. He's going to take his man on and beats his man, but pulls it back for Atkins. Mortland takes a shot from range. Looked like that might have been going out, but Austin grabs it anyway. Right now, Accrington would have the same number of points as us. 5-2 on the shots, but we trail on the scoreboard. Atkins needs to get subbed off at halftime as he already had a yellow card and then gave up the penalty. He's got to be risking a sending off at some point, pretty much any foul. So we'll make a halftime change here for him, regardless. He's got a low rating anyway. Bad giveaway. Ooh, got a touch. That could have been a penalty. Big save there from Julian. We get it partially cleared. They're going to get another shot at it. Jones's clearance. Davidson comes back, clutches it. That's good from him. Gets to it anyway, and then passes it back to Julian, and we get out of that danger. The only guy with a good rating is Julian. Atkins out, McCartney in, and we've got all 11 fired up. Block it. Based on what I've been seeing, that should have been a yellow card. All those early yellows. Surprised by that one. Jones is tired and having a rough day. Adekunle's having a rough day and tired. Those two may get subbed off on the early side, and it's time to pass into space a little bit, hit that counter, speed things up. We'll throw it long instead of short, and we're going to go attacking. We've only had one attempt this half, so they've somehow negated our attack. I think it's time to make a change tactically, as we're not getting anywhere. Cartney is a good passer, so can he play a little bit higher up? He can. We're going to push him into a more advanced position, and we're going to tell our wingbacks to go on attack. Let's go ahead and demand more. A lot of frowning faces out there. That didn't seem to do anything. It did for a couple of them. And Penreese is trying. Adekunle is tired. I think we need to make a double change here. Redknapp. Oh, big chance. Austin, big save. Davidson in possession. Hassel finds Redknapp. Redknapp. Great pass. Oh, wow. Did he get the ball? He went through the guy to get the ball. Really surprised that that wasn't given as a penalty, considering they got a penalty for basically the same. Basically, not quite the same. But we need fresh legs out there. We've got Phil Hewitt. We've got Matty Baker. And do we want to bring on Thornhill? How's Jones doing? He's having a bad game too, so might as well refresh that top line. Very attacking. Final minutes. All those yellows and no danger. McFadden intercepts after a bad pass. Finds Baker. Baker finds Mortland. Mortland cuts in. Bad take anyway. McFadden inside to Thornhill. We're going to win it back. Redknapp brought down by Wilkinson. Hewitt taking the free kick. No highlight. We've added 4 shots, so we are doing something, but we're down to a minute to equalize here. This is going to be harsh if they win on a penalty as the only goal. Dangerous tackle there, but they get away with it. Hewitt, too strong of a touch, gives it away. High tempo. Out of possession. Much higher. And get stuck in. A little late on those changes, but not much we could have done about it as the highlight skipped ahead by 10 plus minutes. And that's game. We come away without a single point today, which was really harsh. We outplayed them a little bit all game long. All they really had was the penalty. And we certainly had a shout and didn't get the call for that. Should have finished 1-1. We could have and should have gotten a goal in open play. This could have been a 2-1 victory. Instead, we go home empty-handed. 50 best players in the world list is revealed. Do we get anybody on the list for the first time in our team's history? Of course, we won't have one on the list, but one of our former players. I'd say there's a good 3 of them that have a real shot at that. Incredibly surprised to see Kai Havertz anywhere near this top 50 list, as he's nowhere near that kind of quality in real life. It does not show any potential to get any better than he is now. We do not make the list, but 2 more players that do make the list, even though they're right at the end of it in 47th and 49th. Really surprised to see that Sancho would get anywhere performance-wise, or Anthony especially. I don't care what they paid to bring the Brazilian in. He's the worst winger I've seen in the Premier League in a decade. Absolutely awful player. Let's go to the left foot. Cut in. You got anything else for us? No? Still waiting? Cut in, go left foot. Pretty easy to defend. 1 goal, 1 assist this whole year. Surprised he's got that much. Now, the under-21s, different matter for them than what we're getting with our under-18s. The under-18s are performing pretty well this year, but I really thinned out our U21s. I let go of a lot of older veteran guys that just weren't going to cut it, weren't ever going to make the senior squad, and thinned that U21s out. Didn't just have a roster to have a roster, especially when salary was being counted. Speaking of the salary, in terms of the FFP, okay, we have a transfer embargo. Now, transfer embargo doesn't actually mean anything to us. We have a transfer embargo already as it is. So hanging on to these players as long as it's just a transfer embargo is really not a big deal. When we broke things down for this series, I said we were going to do everything in-house. We were going to have minimum security. I didn't say we were going to violate FFP. Rules are rules, and I think we should try to adhere to FFP. I don't think it needs to be something we put fire sale energy into. I don't think we need to offload everyone rapidly. But I do think we should be watching our spending and trying to stay within FFP if possible, simply for the spirit of the series. We don't want to break a bunch of rules simply because we can. So that being said, there's a couple players making way too much money that if an offer were to come along, I would accept. I would like to have us play by the rules properly and fall within FFP and what's expected of us for that. But it's not a major necessity, as we're only getting a transfer embargo, which we already have. But that does mean players that hit 23 and over and still aren't good enough. Dashfield this coming season, Hutchings this coming season, Palmer, they're going to get let go. Squad players, Redknapp, I think it's just about time we move on from him. Potter is right on his heels, and I'm about ready to start giving that job to Potter to see him explode and take off and overtake Redknapp, who's nearly maxed out. I mean, he's 14 away from his potential and already 24. But you move on from a Redknapp. We move on from an expensive Atkins, who's nearly at his potential, and pretty much hang on to everybody else. Thornhill's on his way out as well. I think that's enough to get us where we need to be. to be closer to FFP. And then next season, you worry about it again. You look at it and see if there's somebody else at that point you could part ways with. A McFadden if we have a left back who's ready to take over. And off we go. So this is Colchester. We're on the road. And Colchester's in our league. We play them next. Back to back. Because this is not a league match. This is the final group stage match of the Bristol Street Motors Trophy, aka Papa John's Trophy. It's the under-21s Premier League side competition, where 3 sides plus 1 Premier League side will match up. Will go head to head. McCartney got a piece of that apparently. Looked like he just missed to me, but that's out for a corner kick. We are second in the group. They are third in the group. So I was thinking Ebbsfleet was who we had next. We've already played them, so we're good for that part. But right now, Brighton Under-21s is beating Ebbsfleet in their simultaneous kickoff match right now. I have a lot of change, a lot of squad rotation to get some guys fresh as it's an extra midweek match. And I have a couple of guys that are on international duty right now and unavailable. But with it only being 2, I figured, you know what? Why not? Let's give them a chance to play anyway. I did not ask to delay the match, but also with the squad rotation, it is what it is. Big chance for Thornhill, but he hits that up and over the crossbar. Looks like keeper might have had that saved anyway. Brighton leading 1-0 with an 18th minute goal. Approaching halftime already in this one. Under the circumstances, Brighton would have the advantage, so we fall to 3rd place. Colchester falls to 4th. Hewitt loses out, but Redknapp recovers. Lays it off for Atkins. Hewitt with the cross. Davidson has to backtrack for that one. Can't get much purchase on it. Gets it directed towards goal, but that's about all he can do. We're definitely looking the stronger team. All 11 are fired up here as we start the second half. In terms of squad rotation, we have, 4 backups in. So we have just 7 starters. 2 of those are out on the international duty. 2 are out for a rest and not on the bench because I wanted to rest them. So the backups behind them are the backups behind these backups that are getting the start instead. McCartney finds Thornhill. Thornhill lays it off for Hewitt. Hewitt takes a good first touch, gets a little push. Thornhill not enough on that through ball. If he had more on it, allowing us to run onto it a bit further, that would have completed. This time he lays it off the other direction. Davidson turns, finds McFadden. Back inside to Lanahan Penrys. Doesn't take the shot himself. He was in a good position to shoot there, right on the edge of the box. Took the extra pass, but we earn the corner kick. It gets cleared away. McFadden gets there first. 5-3 on the shots, 2-1 on the on-target, 0.7 to 0.1 on the XG, 68% possession. It's been just about all us here. But as things stand, it's not looking good for the eventuality that we are trying to get, as that shot went awfully close. That was their biggest threat of the entire day. It's back to 1-1. It's back to 1-1 as of right now. Meaning we are through with a draw as things stand. And the only reason this competition really does not matter, but the board expectation is to make it to the next stage. So I'm trying to, I've given it one game, one attempt to help out with that process to make sure that we make it to the next round. If we fail, we fail. It's not that big of a deal. We can't lose our job anyway. I mean, that's part of this series, is the job is secure. That's it. It just finished in stoppage, and we're going to penalties. Straight to penalties. 90 minutes and then penalties. Gotta have a winner. Okay. Well, Hewitt, obvious choice, and he's not there, so we want to get him in. He looks to be the best. So we want to bump him up. Where is, let's see, Lanahan Penrys has the best composure. Davidson, okay. penalty shootout. Fun stuff here. I'm glad we opted to do this. Lanahan Pedri squeezes that past Eastwood, who guessed correctly, but it was a good take from Lanahan Pedri. Koulibaly guesses the wrong way. Backup goalkeeper in goal. Big opportunity for him. McCartney, the young gun, does well. Well placed. Eastwood guesses correctly again. Koulibaly has not guessed correctly in his first attempt. This time he tries to react. He was kind of guessing that it was going to go right and then reacts left. Davidson squeezes past Eastwood. Perfect 3 for 3. Koulibaly is not doing well on these penalties yet. Again, he dives the wrong direction. Koulibaly has not gotten it right at all yet, where Eastwood's gotten all of them right. Thornhill, every penalty has been very well placed. 4 for 4. Can we get Koulibaly to guess correctly? And can he save it? It's over. It's over. It was tipped over by Koulibaly. It was tipped over by Koulibaly. What a save from the young keeper. Yes. To win it, Phil Hewitt. And he has perfect 5 for 5. We get the victory, and that will see us into the next round. Yeah, that saw us earn an additional point. Instead of 4, we end up at 5. So you get 2 points for winning the shootout. Colchester did get their 1 point, I believe. 8 matches now since Davidson has found the back of the net. We're going to go ahead and criticize. Don't worry. There you go. You took that one well. And that does see us qualify from the group and to make the second round. So that Papa John's trophy is a success. We've accomplished that goal while being fine for the League Cup. And last year's FA Cup success continues to look well for us. So here we are with the focus on League 2. And after that recent loss, we've fallen to 5th place in that very, very tight standings. But we're still just 2 points out of first in the league and 4 points ahead of being out of the playoff zone. So there's a little cushion with the top 6 all pulling away a little bit. Next up, Colchester, who we just drew with in the league. It's mid-November. It's been about 2 months since we started this episode, so we made some pretty rapid progress. And I'd say that the team is in a similar place, if not slightly better than the place we were in when we started the episode. We've made it to the second round for the, for that U21's competition. That's a good sign. That's a positive. So I think we can definitely take some positives from what happened within this episode. But overall, we're talking about being 2% better off than we were, meaning we're in pretty much the same boat we were in before. That being said, playoff zone, or if we can qualify top 3 in the league, top 3 is promotion. Doesn't matter if we win the league or not. So I would be happy if we were moving on to League 1, where I think we can definitely play. But things are really compact, really tight within this league. With so many teams up and down, makes a bit of sense that it would be pretty close, as it is in real life this season. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.